Hello, my name is Colleen Quinn, and I am presenting my proposal on the impact of open educational resources on community college students. My study will analyze the use of OERs at students enrolled in community colleges, in particular my home campus, which is Erie Community College in Buffalo, New York. I will be exploring barriers for community college students and how it affects their success, retention, and persistence rates. I'll be using a parallel mixed design for my proposal because I plan on using both quantitative and qualitative data. One thing that you need to understand about community college students is that for many of them, they are first-time enrolled for their family. And community college is an open access institution, which means that anybody can go to college at a community college. There are no restrictions for attending a community college. So with that, we have many students from very diverse backgrounds, from ethnicity to gender to socioeconomic. We have a large difference in ages as well with our students. At my particular home campus, the average age of my students is 27.8. Many times our students are working adults with 1 or 2 part-time jobs, possibly a full-time job, with families, either their own children or parents and siblings that they are also taking care of. In my literature review, I looked at many things. One of them was predictors of retention. Two of the main areas that I like to focus on are the availability of financial aid and how the access to course materials, in particular textbooks, influences predictors of retention. How does cost affect student persistence? So in my literature review, I looked at something called financial nexus theory. So what that shows is that as students experience a persistence decision regarding whether they're going to enroll in courses for another semester, how many courses they are going to register for, and what courses they're going to register for, many times the decision is impacted by cost and dollar amounts and the amount of financial aid a student may or may not have and how much it's going to cost for the next semester. Open educational resources are free, open access, high quality instructional materials. By open access, they have a Creative Commons license, meaning that they can be used in courses, whether the modality is seated, online, in presentations, and this content includes courses, textbooks, videos, journals, applications, homework programs such as Lumen Learning is one of the things that I use in my classroom, where the students can work on homework and it's graded for them, very similar to what publishers such as Pearson and their products has for classes, except for Lumen Learning is free. So I'm hoping to show that OERs in the classroom can impact student learning outcomes through improved teaching and learning by the use of these materials in courses. And also it's going to increase student persistence and retention rates by removing those cost barriers at times where students make persistence decisions. OERs can make college more affordable for our students. So on average, students have to buy textbooks for their classes. Now students, if they are registered full-time, register between 4 and 5 courses. 12 credit hours is full-time. Many choose 15 credit hours, and that's just for our full-time students. So that's an average between 8 and 10 classes per academic year. On the low end, we're looking at about $100 per textbook. That is $1,000, again, on the low end, that students are paying for course materials and textbooks. So what happens with students at a community college, many of them may not be receiving financial aid and they're paying out of pocket. So at the beginning of the semester, when they have to pay for their rent and pay for groceries and pay for daycare and car insurance and gas to get to college, they also have to dig deep into their pockets to pay for textbooks. And textbooks is low on the priority list of things that these students need in their life. So students are starting their semesters 4 to 6 weeks, 2 to 3 pay periods without a textbook. Average semester is 15 weeks. So if they're starting 6 weeks of the semester with no textbook materials, that's 1/3 of the semester, and they are now behind the 8 ball, which is going to be detrimental to their success in those particular courses, which will negatively affect persistence and retention rates. OERs and their impact on student learning. In my literature review, I have found that OERs have had the same success rates for our students or better, which means that it is negligible. We have a win no matter what. So the students and the teachers that have been interviewed feel that the material is good or better, and the student results are the same or better. So it is a win for OER courses. OER impact on student persistence. So student persistence looks at the number of credit hours students register for from semester to semester. Students enrolled in OER courses averaged above full-time status at 13.29 credit hours, while students in non-OER courses enrolled in an average of 11.14 credit hours, below full-time status. Data suggests that students saving money on textbooks enrolled in additional courses, possibly with their savings, which is going to help them move through their degree path quicker, which is another theory known as academic momentum. Academic momentum states that students that take 12 credit hours or more per semester gains momentum towards completion of their degree. So my research questions are: what registration trends can be seen on campus that offer OER courses? What are the student success rates measured in OER versus non-OER courses? And then how does the teacher use of OER influence student success with their learning, retention, and persistent rates at community colleges? My study proposal will be a mixed methods approach, and I plan on using sequential exploratory method. Sequential exploratory method is best for testing emergent theory, and OER is relatively new in this paradigm. And the first repository of OER at a college was in 2016. It is 2019, so it's been approximately 3 years that this has begun to gain momentum. I'll be using both quantitative and qualitative data. I'll be collecting this and then interpreting it in my integration phase of the study. The study will explore the impact of OERs on student success, retention, and persistence, as well as how it can remove barriers for our students in the general education. So my methodology, since it is parallel, I will have a qualitative sample and a quantitative sample. Qualitative, the study will be done with questionnaires. They're going to be administered to my courses. I have 2 seated introductory statistics courses and 2 online. So I'll be able to test 2 different modalities of delivery. My courses are highly filled, general education courses, so that means that I am at 90 to 95% seats filled every single semester. My sample size will be approximately 30 students for one course, and it could be anywhere between 70 and 100 students based on the number of students registered in my classes. The surveys will be voluntary, and so I'm expecting that not all of my students will want to participate. Quantitative sample description, I'll be looking at the cost of textbooks, and I'll be looking at the success rates of students, not only in math courses, but also through other divisions within Erie Community College. That includes social science, natural sciences, and humanities. This is a quick diagram of my design methods, analysis, and inference using my quantitative and qualitative data. So what I'm hoping to find: student registration trends. Students will participate in my study with a survey that is optional. I'm hoping to have a pre and post study. I will only be using results from students that participate in both. The study will explore financial impact that may affect students' decisions when they are registering for courses. I will use a constant comparative method to analyze my survey results, to utilize a process to divide the narrative data into units of information and depend on statistical software to show my categorical graphical displays. An expected outcome will be cost savings related to the number of credit hours students register for, with categories included but not limited to textbook costs, purchase point of textbooks, cost savings, credit hours, financial aid, full or part-time student status, and then any other financial barriers our students may be experiencing. Another anticipated result is that textbook and course material costs factor into student decisions when they choose to register for courses. Cost savings. I will be collecting data from the community college's bookstore for textbook costs. Now, while we know that Amazon allows students to rent textbooks and also purchase textbooks at a used and cheaper price than what is available in a bookstore, Amazon does not take students' financial aid, Pell, or TAP. So students in those circumstances must purchase through the bookstore, and they have to use the price points that are provided at the bookstore. So those are the numbers that I will be using so that all students and their cost is going to be accounted for in the study. One of my anticipated results will be that OER will save students a significant amount of money each semester. And then I will also look at general education courses and the impact of cost savings for registering students in these electives. Student success is another factor I'll be looking at. Previous studies look at a grade of C-. C- does not transfer, but I would like to look at a D, because D is considered passing at a community college. So students that have a terminal degree and are not transferring, D is success. C- as well, but C and B will allow students to transfer their grades to four-year institutions. So I would like to look at a spectrum of success in that. Students that do not finish the class or drop prior to completion of the semester, I'm not going to be including. Some of the results I'm looking for are students that are enrolled in OER versus non-OER perform the same or better, and success rates are the same or better and significant enough to show a strong correlation between student success and course materials. Of course, I will be using precautions to make sure that my hope does not cloud my research and entertain bias in my study. Linking the student success and OERs, I'll have two quantitative data sets, and I'll be looking at both of those for a multivariate relationship between those variables. And then if there is something shown to exist, I'll be looking at an outcome with positively correlating student success and cost savings. And if that's not found to be significant, then I will conduct other analyses or possibly hypothesis tests to prove or disprove the significance. My analysis will be the following. I plan to do method by method comparison in order to merge my results by discussion. I'm going to report on my quantitative results and then use the student interview and survey results in successive paragraphs to complement my quantitative data results. Implications and discussion. I anticipate the findings of the study will show that the textbook cost affects student choice when they're registering for classes. It is possible that my findings may diverge, meaning that my quantitative and qualitative data will not mesh well together. If that happens, I'll have to reconcile my divergence by reanalyzing my data and try to find a new framework or perspective. I do have some ideas about what I would do if this happens, but right now we're hoping that this does not happen. Future research can include following students for more than 2 semesters, possibly through their degree completion, and then using student interviews to explore other potential barriers to success beyond costs of textbooks, perhaps other costs or other things that involve attending community college. Conclusion, I believe cost savings from OERs will allow students to enroll in additional courses and complete their degrees on time. I believe OERs is a game changer in education, especially for students at the community college, where our students come from diverse social and economic backgrounds across the county and the state of New York. Thank you very much for watching my presentation. Summary references.